Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Gino with Tremontelli Counseling, coming back with another anger management reaction video. This video is a little bit different than the ones I've shown you in the past in the sense that I think this is a great example of how to handle anger well. We're going to see a conflict here that plays out, and you're going to see one individual totally managing his emotions and I think really finding a solution to this problem that's really elegant and pretty entertaining to watch. So, as usual, this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I'm not doing any clinical evaluations or assessment. I don't know any of these people, and I'm just kind of reacting to what I'm seeing here. I could be totally misinterpreting this stuff, but I don't think so. Anyway, so here we have a really interesting video. This is an encounter between two individuals in New York City. We tend to see a lot of these kinds of interactions in urban environments, and there are reasons for that. Lots of people, crowded, people moving around, trying to get here and there, sometimes crossing each other's paths, and it can just create a sort of heightened level of arousal, just kind of being in a crowded space, moving quickly. I know whenever I go into the city, I move a little bit faster, I'm a little bit more sort of vigilant, and that can lead to a little bit of an edge in people. And here we're going to see an interaction between a pedestrian and a bicyclist. The video starts after they've already been arguing, but from what I can gather from watching the video and from the comments, what we're seeing here is a pedestrian who, I guess, tried to catch a light, right? And basically tried to run across the street at the last minute, but came across the path of our bicyclist here, and the bicyclist gets really angry about that, thinks that the pedestrian is entitled, and I'll let her speak for herself, but the encounter starts like that. So let's take a look at it, and we'll see how this is handled. All right, so here we go. There are captions. The captions aren't accurate, so where it's not accurate, I will point that out. Like, it starts out here, the woman is saying, you're dark, you're invisible, or you're basically not able to be seen, and she's basically saying, hey, look, you've done a dangerous thing, and I can't even see you, so you almost got yourself hit. Here we go.
You are dark, you are invisible! What the hell is your problem? You're not even apologizing!
I know, I don't need to.
You're a pedestrian! You get to do whatever you want!
You really...
All right, so just a word about this. We have our bicyclist physically blocking this man and his dog from moving, right? So she is being super aggressive here, getting her bike in the way, using it sort of like as a shield. And this is really aggressive. And you would be forgiven for getting angry about this if you were the pedestrian. And she's basically saying, what you've done is unforgivable, which is, irrational, right? And the pedestrian is trying to cross the street to get away from her. He's basically smiling, and we see his first approach is to sort of dismiss it and laugh it off and hope that she'll give up.
That's great! I'm really happy that you did.
Chasing him.
So was everyone else.
You were there illegally. Are you telling me that you had a green light?
No, plenty of them.
No!
All right, you're right.
You were there illegally?
You're right.
Yes, seriously.
No, I'm not doing anything wrong.
All right, so realizing that he's not going to escape this conflict, he's basically giving her the win. He's basically saying, yeah, you're right, I was wrong. Let me carry on with my day. All right, which is a great tactic, especially here. These appear to be strangers, and I don't think he really cares what she thinks of him. So he's basically just saying, yeah, whatever I need to tell you to make you go away, I'm going to say, which is, I think it's passive, but I think appropriate here. I mean, it's the right thing to do to get out of this situation, but it doesn't work.
Right now, I'm just telling you to fucking get your dog out of the way.
There's something wrong with that. You understand?
No, it's not. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with my right to the bicycle?
All right, so here so realizing that giving her the victory is not going to work, he is changing tactic. Now he's trying to reason with her. He's basically saying, look, what you're doing here is not right. There's something wrong with the way you're behaving. And she just can't receive it, again, because she is elevated in a way that's impossible to reason with.
Out of the way.
There's something wrong with that. You understand?
No, it's not. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with my right to the bicycle? What's wrong with my right to have a bicycle?
See that? What's wrong with my right to have a fight? Does anybody have a right to have a fight? I don't know. I mean, certainly you don't have a right to impede somebody from traveling. I mean, that seems like you know, I don't think anybody would argue that you have a right to do that. And so again, this illustrates how when somebody is in this heightened state of arousal, this really angry state, they're just not speaking with a rational mind, right? The goal is to win. Now, we're going to come back to this idea of winning, because I think that if we're going to win, or if we want to win something, we have to identify a win condition. Like, what is winning in this circumstance? So let's circle back to that in a second.
I disagree, all right?
No, not disagree.
Yes, I don't
You
agree
broke
with
the
you.
law.
I don't care what you think. Do you understand what I'm saying? It means nothing to me.
I
I've
know
lost
it means
it.
nothing to
So
you.
just go on with your day and I'll go on
I'm
with
not
mine.
going on with my day because I don't feel like it. This is all around.
Right? So there again, he says, look, I don't care about this situation. This is not interesting to me. Just go on with your day and I'll go on with mine. And she says, I don't want to go on with my day, which is, again, it shows that she's kind of dug in, right? She has a point to make and she wants to make it. Let's listen to that again, because I think it's important here that, you know, he's taking this different tact. She's trying to argue this idea that you broke the law. He goes, yeah, fine, I did. I'm sorry. But she won't let it go.
It means nothing to me.
I
I've
know
lost
it means
it.
nothing to
So
you.
just go on with your day and I'll go on
I'm
with
not
mine.
going on with my day because I don't feel like it.
So I want to point out that he's also doing a really good job of not matching her energy level. If you pay attention, he's keeping it low, and you can see that that actually influences her. It lowers her volume just a little bit. She starts with screaming. He starts to level with her, and you can see that his calm demeanor actually takes a little bit of the wind out of her sails. It's a really effective strategy.
Broke the law.
You broke the law.
Do you understand what I'm saying? It means nothing to me.
I
I've
know
lost
it means
it.
nothing.
Very few physical gestures. His hands are like here. I don't care what you think. It means nothing to me. And you can see this influencing.
So just go on with your day and I'll go on
I'm
with
not
mine.
going on with my day because I don't feel like it.
So now he's realized, I don't want to go on with my day. Her goal is to have this conflict.
No, I live on this block, actually. Yeah.
She's basically telling him, you can go around the block if you want to avoid this. And he goes, no, I live here. And so this is where he starts to get assertive. He goes, no, that's too far. I'm gonna make my way. So let's listen to that again. Yeah.
Around the block. You got a different block.
No, I live on this block, actually. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that at this point, the dog walker is fully sort of aware that this person is not to be reasoned with. She's not going to let him off the hook. And at this point, he comes to the conclusion, I think appropriately, that there's just no more point in discussing it. So he gets quiet and he starts to physically try to avoid her. Now, again, he's doing a really good job of keeping calm. He hasn't grabbed the bike. He hasn't done anything to escalate the temperature of the situation. I am super impressed with the way this is being handled.
He's threatening the dog. Is that what you're doing?
Boom. All right, so a little comedy at the end there. He finally gets away, and some amazing head fake here. He jukes her a little bit.
No, I live on this block, actually. Yeah.
Little interference from the cab. He head fakes her. Boom. The crowd goes wild. All right. So, great example of anger management. You know, we have a person here who has done a really good job. He found himself in a very difficult situation. Look, he may have done the wrong thing, right? It may be that he took a risk in crossing the street, and it definitely impeded her. And I mean, look, when you have a lot of people living together in a crowded place, this is going to happen. Everybody is not going to be perfect all the time. And so this is where we come back to the idea of expectations, right? You know, when you're out on the roads, it can't be the expectation that everybody's going to drive perfectly and follow every rule of the road all the time, because lots of reasons, right? People make sincere mistakes. I've cut people off before, totally, you know, inadvertently. I've looked, I didn't see anybody. They were in my blind spot. I cut them off. It was an accident. I'm a human, right? Some people also are aggressive drivers, and you're going to see that out on the road too. And it can't be your job to correct the errors or the crimes of everybody out there, you know? And this is where it comes back to the idea of the win condition, right? So when we get angry, when we get to this like elevated state of anger, what we start doing is just wanting to win. But what happens is we don't really identify what winning means, right? So here, this woman's having a conflict with this man. what does it even mean in this circumstance for her to win? You know, does it mean to extract a concession for him to admit that he's wrong? She did that, right? And it didn't work. It wasn't satisfying enough for her, because what it is that she's dug into having the conflict and doesn't really have a clearly defined goal. Where his goal was to get out of it. I just want to leave this, and he tried a variety of different approaches to make that happen. Whereas you saw with her, because she didn't have a clearly defined win condition, she just wanted to block him. So her goal was basically to punish this guy in some way, verbally or I don't know what. But I mean, I'm not suggesting that it's a clearly thought out goal, but you know, this is what's important to do. When you're managing anger, you have to ask yourself, I'm having a conflict with this person. What does it mean to win this conflict? Is it even possible? And I think that what we saw here was the dog walker realized that he wasn't going to be able to reason with her. He wasn't going to be able to just concede that she was right and that was going to work. And so he finally just escaped. And he did so in a very elegant and pretty funny way. So, I mean, great video here. I think that this is exactly the kind of thing that we're looking for. We have a person who is in a difficult situation, doesn't allow it to influence the mood, and also in staying calm, I think really helped this go about as well as it could. You know, he also probably kept his wits about him with respect to what it might mean to get into a confrontation with a stranger, even a woman on the street. As a man, would not look good for him, wouldn't be appropriate, and probably just man-woman stuff aside, this guy probably was just trying to walk his dog and go home. He wasn't trying to get to have any longer of a relationship with this person than he needed to. So A+, buddy. If you're out there, I'm very impressed. I've used this video many times in my groups as an example of how to really handle this well. So thank you guys for watching my video. As usual, please like, subscribe, comment. When you interact with my videos, it helps me get some more exposure. So I would really appreciate that. And also, as usual, if you are in Central Jersey, you need a therapist, you have some trouble with anger management, check me out. My website and all that stuff will be in the comment or in the description below. And thanks for watching my video. Thank you.